Record. Okay. All right. So apparently when that crashed out on your end, I don't know, it wasn't recording. So I'm going to go in and go back to Commons and show you that again. So going into Commons, hashtag Ann Curtis makes art. And then that'll pop up my things in here. So then when you go into it, you can see a preview of what you're going to get. One thing to remember or keep in mind is that whatever you see here, any files or information that's attached in order to create this, if you download it, you're going to get all of it. So this is the blank template.
Okay.
This is the one that has all of my information. So if you download this, you will get all of these image files that I used for my buttons.
Oh.
Which you may or may not want. It's just a lot of information because I've made that mistake before. I've downloaded people's stuff not realizing how much was attached.
Right.
And it's a lot of stuff. And then you have to go back in and like clean out all your files because you got all of it. So if there's images or videos, documents that you can see in the preview, you're getting all of it. So just something to keep in mind.
Once I pull it over to use it, can I edit it? Like that one that you sent me, that you showed me, that's just like a template. I can edit in that template and change everything and put my own things in. But if I did this one, all the stuff would come in,
and it would look just like, you'd still be able to edit it. But I'll show you, like, let's see. Let me give you a good example of this.
I mean, it almost feels like you just would give me all of your work. Like I just put it up there, change it to Mrs. Minder, and ta-da, I have my whole week done. Like
essentially, but what that page that I was showing you, it's just the buttons.
Okay.
It's not any of the links. So it wouldn't take you to any of my projects. Now the individual projects that I had in there, I don't know why I keep doing that. Okay, so like these individual projects, like I'm gonna give you the whole project for scavenger hunt.
Okay.
So you're gonna get the text information, you're gonna get the link for the video and the photograph. That's my son, by the way. There he is. And you're gonna get the directions for how to upload a video. So if you download that, then you'll get all of that information. The one, this one, if you download this, all you're going to get is this text and each of these images.
Okay.
You won't get anything that they're actually linked to.
Okay. So if I make something and I want to share it with an art teacher in our district, so we both have the same lesson or the same whatever, I save it into Commons.
You would put it into Commons. You actually won't make it public. So if you're doing something in Commons and you want to share it with someone in your district, let's see, let's go to assignment. So let's say I want to share the interactive drawings assignment. I'd go into my assignments, and then over here on the right, the three buttons here, I'd click on this and go to share to Commons. And then when you go to share to Commons, you get to decide who's going to see it. So who has access to it. So you can do only me. You would do that if you're sharing something between grade levels.
Okay.
If you have them grouped like I do, where each grade level has their own section, then you hit only me, and then only you have access to it. I work in Hamilton Southeastern, so I can choose all of Hamilton Southeastern schools. So that's anybody in your district can see it. And then you have the option for public. But public really does mean anybody and everybody has access to your stuff. So, you know, I mean, how much work you put into it depends on how much you want to share it.
Right.
Like I said, I mean, I've learned a lot from going through and borrowing things that people shared publicly, because it's really nice when you can do that.
Okay.
But that's your options for sharing. and then you just fill in the rest of these things and hit share, and then it's all in Commons.
Okay.
All right, so to get it out of Commons, if you want to get it out of Commons, let's see, let's just type in art. Nope. Don't want my, oh, I need to do a search. Okay. So if you're just randomly searching in Commons, you can type in pretty much anything. And you're going to get lots of stuff. These are things that other people have posted.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say I want this one, Animal Adventures Week 2. And this person, you can see it has the directions, it has some images, it's got a link for a video. This is a pretty good lesson. Like, this is one I would totally borrow. And they made it public, so it's okay.
Okay.
So then on the right side here, there's an import and download. So you'll click on import and download. And then these are my courses. I have courses from last year and this year, and I don't know why. Like, the bottom ones are always like my 2019 courses, and the top ones are my 2020. I don't know. Anyway, they never cleaned it out. But let's say I want to add this to 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and 4th grade. I'd click on all of those sections, and then I would click on import course, and I'm just going to do that. All right, so now dashboard. When I go back into 2nd grade, I should be able to find those documents, that document that I just made. And it was an assignment, so I'm going to go into assignments. And there's a section in your assignments that says imported assignments.
Okay.
So this is what I just imported from Commons. So when I click on it, it's now in my Canvas page. It is 100% mine at this point.
Okay.
To do with whatever I want. So I'm going to click on it, and you can see I have all the information that person had in here.
So your kids can't see that until you click the top where it says publish.
Yep, your kids
so you
can't
could
see
just
it.
Save that for 2 or 3 weeks from now, and then publish it and use it.
Oh yeah, but the other thing your kids, for me, because of the way that my dashboard is set up, so if you're looking on the side right here where it says assignments, quizzes, you can actually hide these buttons from students. So if it has the little eyeball crossed out, kids can't actually click on that button. So my kids cannot click on the assignment button and see all of my assignments. I've locked that from them. The only thing that they can see is this. So if I haven't put it on this page with a button, they don't have access to it.
Okay.
But let's add that koala assignment to my page. So I showed you it's in assignments. It wasn't published. We're going to make a button for it. I'm just going to do a quick Google search for koala bear. And I create all my buttons in Canva. Have you used that before?
I have not, but a 5th grade teacher at my school did a tutorial on buttons, and she used a thing called the Button Factory.
Okay, so the Button Factory is fine.
Yeah.
But it's super hard to use, and it doesn't let you make really cool ones. I'm just saying. Like, okay, I'm kind of obsessed with, like, it's called Canva.
Tell me, what is the name of the one you use so I can write it down?
Here, I will, it's Canva. It's just Canvas without the S.
Okay.
They are not related to each other at all. I have no idea why the names are so close, but it is called Canva. Here we go. Here's Canva.
Is it free, or do we have to pay for it?
They have a free version. I've only ever used the free version.
Okay.
I have considered getting the full version.
Okay.
But I've been able to do everything that I want to do. And here are all of the things that I've made, like in e-learning, you can see like every button, maybe, come on computer. You can see every button that I've made. I have a lot of fun with these buttons. Like,
Okay.
It's a really fun program. I've made like invitations to like birthday parties and posters and all kinds of stuff. So it's just a fun one to check out.
Okay, cool.
If you haven't done it. Okay, so I'm not going to do that for this one. I'm not going to make one, but all right. So I downloaded an image of a koala bear that I'm going to put here to make into my button. So I'm going to go up to edit. I'm going to scroll down to where I want to put my picture, and I'm going to put my cursor wherever I want my picture to appear. This is really important. You need that cursor to be wherever you want the picture to appear. And then I'm going to go to images. There's a tab right over here, images. I'm going to upload a new image. And I'm going to go to choose file. Let me know if I go too fast.
Nope, it's okay.
I'm going to go to choose file, and then I'm going to find my picture of my koala bear that I just saved to my desktop. Maybe if I can. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and choose it, and then I'm going to open it up. Now, once you attach it, and you can see it, choose file, it has the name of the file right here. Alternative text is if a student had vision issues or some other special needs where they needed stuff read to them. If you put something in that box, like I would put koala bear drawing, it would actually read that text to them if they could, or they couldn't read it on their own. So like kindergartners who can't read what the project is,
right,
that text would be read to them. That's what that's for. You can also just click decorative image, and then you don't have to put anything in the text box.
Okay.
I always use alternative text because I never know who's going to be looking at my lessons. And I just like to think of like, in the next 10 years, how likely am I to have a student that can't read? How likely am I to have a student who is blind? So it's a step, it's an extra step that you have to do, but I do it for all of it.
Okay.
Okay, so once I've named it, I'm going to go to upload. And it's going to pop up. Now it's huge right now because I didn't adjust the photo, but I'm going to minimize it so it's not so big. And I just have I've just kind of memorized what size, like these are all like 170 by 170. You kind of have to decide what size you want them. We're going to make the koala that big to make him look like he kind of fits. There we go. Okay, so now he's my button. Now, in order to take this button to take me somewhere, I have to link it to something.
Right.
So I'm going to go to links. I'm going to open up assignments because it was an assignment. And I'm going to scroll until I find the koala bear drawing. Now, I have a lot of stuff in here, so it might take me a minute. And I don't remember what it was actually called either, so bear with me. Oh, what was it called? Oh, no, that's not it. No. What was it called? Oh, Animal Adventures. That's what it was called. It was right at the top. They're in alphabetical order for what good it does you if you don't remember what it was called. All right, so I found it. I'm going to click on it, and you can see that thing kind of lit up when I did that. That's creating the link. So then once I've created the link, I'm going to go down to the bottom of my screen, and I'm going to hit save. So now that assignment that I essentially borrowed from Commons is linked to this image. So when students click on this image, it takes them right to that assignment.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's how you're going to create your buttons for your projects. If you do essentially like a choice board like mine is. That's how you'll create those buttons and link it to an assignment.
Yay.
All right.
So once you make those buttons, do you have to go into your grading thing, your speed grader, and then put a name for each project that you have buttons for?
No, that's linked to assignments. Once you create an assignment, and I'm going to show you that here in a second, once you create an assignment, it automatically goes into your gradebook. So because I imported that assignment, Animal Adventures, from Commons, it automatically went to my gradebook. So if I go back up and I go to grades, we will actually be able to see. Oh no, we won't, because I didn't make it live. Hold on. You do have to publish it in order to see it in your gradebook. Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay, now it's published. Now if I go to grades, there's Animal Adventures.
Cool. Okay.
So once you create an assignment, it automatically goes into your gradebook, as long as you publish it. All right, so that's how you will steal, borrow, and, you know,
share. You share things.
Yeah, share things from Commons.
Okay.
And how you'll create a button for those projects once you do that. The next thing is going to be how to actually create your own assignments. So, back in the second grade, I'm going to go ahead and create my sunflower mosaic project again, because I deleted it from here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add that button again. I'm just going to do that really fast since we've already gone over that. So I'm going to go to edit. I always start with my buttons. I'm super visual. If I can't see it on the screen where the kids are going to see it, I feel like it doesn't exist. So it's just a weird little thing. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the button. And upload it. And adjust the size. And like I said, on the size, you'll just kind of know what size they are, and you'll know what size to make everything. It's a lot of repetitive stuff. I don't have anything to link this to yet, so I'm just going to hit save. The button is there, but it's not linked. So here, this one's linked, you get a little hand. This one's not linked, you don't get the little hand. So even though students can see the picture, they can't actually go to it yet. And I do that a lot of times to get them excited about projects. Like, we'll be almost done with a project and I'll post the picture of the next project and they're like, oh my gosh, we're doing that next, you know, and it just kind of builds the excitement for what's going to happen next.
Okay.
And gets them thinking about it. So, all right, so I've got my button. I'm going to go ahead and create an assignment. So I'm going to go over to my left-hand side here and go to assignments. And then the assignment button, this little plus button, we're going to hit that one. And this is my assignment. So we're going to make paper mosaic flowers. This text box right here is where I'm going to add all of the information from my project. So I have a couple of options for how to get the information there. The first thing I can do is I can just type it in. So I can say, watch the video, and then create your own paper mosaic. And you could type all your directions out if you wanted to. You can also upload PDF files, Word files, PowerPoint files, Google documents, Microsoft Office documents, you can load any of those into it as well. You can link all of those. So I don't know what your school uses for file storage, but you can pretty much load anything into it.
Okay.
What does your school use?
We use Google Drive, and I do a lot of my things in like Pages and then save them as Pages.
Okay, so if you're using Google Drive, you can actually save the links directly from Google Drive, and I haven't done that in a while. So let me just remember how. Can't remember if I get through it to here. No. So we use Microsoft 360 or something now. My old school used Google Files. Okay.
I'll figure it out. But it doesn't have to be, it can be a JPEG, a PDF, a doc, a page, like it can be anything.
It can be anything.
Okay.
I'm going to show you with documents though. There's an extra step that you have to do in order to make it look correct.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pick a file off my desktop to show you. So I'm going to go to, I've got my cursor where I want it. This is another time we're putting the cursor wherever you want the file or image or whatever. You got to have it in that window where you want it. So I'm going to put it right here. Then I'm going to go over to the Files tab. Scroll down a little bit. I'm going to go choose File. And then I'm going to choose a file from my computer here. And I'm going to choose this one. This is a Word file. It has nothing to do with this project, but it's all I have right now.
Okay.
And then I'm going to click Open. Once I click Open, you'll see it. It's attached right here. And then you have to also click Upload on this page. Right now, here's the file name. So right now, what happened is it's linked the file. If a student were to click on this, it's actually going to ask them to download the file in order for them to see it. You don't want them to have to download everything in order for them to see it because that's super annoying. And it essentially takes them out of Canvas. So what you do is you're going to highlight the name of the document. Then up here, you're going to go to the little chain link and you're going to click on it. And it's going to show you your link. And at the bottom, it says auto open the inline preview for this link. You want to click on that. Anytime you add a file, whether it's a JPEG or a PDF or a whatever kind of file it is, you always want to do this auto open link. I wish that it defaulted to that, but it doesn't. And then you click update link. And once we save it, you'll actually get to see it as the document. If you don't do that, then it won't do that. So let me, okay. And then don't forget to upload my brain is going faster than my fingers, picture. Okay, so there's my document. If I want to put a picture in or a video in from YouTube, you're going to click on the YouTube button here. Again, cursor wherever you want that video to drop in. You can search for the video right here. So I can go paper, flower, mosaic. It's going to do it. It was doing this earlier. So normally the videos would pop up, and I don't know why it's doing this. It hasn't been doing this for me today. Yes, I want to cancel my YouTube video. The other thing you can do, So when you do it like this, when you go to the YouTube video and you search for it like this, it'll let you do what's called embedding, which means the video is actually in Canvas. So the kids will actually watch the videos right in Canvas. The best part about that is that all of the commercials, all of the advertisements are taken out.
Okay.
If you embed the video. It's not going to let me do that right now. For whatever reason, it hasn't been working today. So I'm just going to link the video. So I'm going to go into YouTube. I'm going to find the video that I want and copy my URL. There.
Can you hold on just a second?
You're good.
Hello? Hi. Well, I'm okay, except I'm in a Zoom like training video right now. That's okay. Do you want to talk to Matt? Is that all right? Okay, I'll call you back. All right, thanks. Bye. Sorry, that was my mother-in-law. She like never calls me.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can also, just go to YouTube and copy your URL link. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it. And then I'm going to go back to Canvas, and that same link button that we used before, I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to paste my URL, and I'm going to say insert link. And then that's going to give me a link to YouTube. The problem with linking it is that when they click on it, it's going to take them to YouTube.
And then they get lost looking at everything else.
Exactly. So it's really better to embed the video using the YouTube button. Yeah, again, not sure why it's not working today, but it was giving me fits earlier.
Okay.
All right, so now we have typed in text, we've uploaded a document, and we've uploaded or linked a video. We're going to get into the how do you grade it. So when we scroll down from this with all the information in our assignment, you're going to tell it how many points the project is worth. Because we're not actually grading it, I have everything worth 1 point. Because in order for it to work in the grade book, it has to have a point value. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, gotta have
like
it.
Like a default, it has to have a number.
Yeah, it's gotta have a number. So it's 1. You can display grades for the kids, percentages, complete, incomplete, points, letter grade. You decide. Again, I'm doing all complete, incomplete. And then, okay, so normally, and I don't know why that defaulted, submission type, this is where you're going to tell the kids how they're going to, or tell the system how they're going to turn in their assignment. So when you click on this where it says no submission, you'll click on online, and then that'll give you this option, and you'll do a file upload because you want them to upload a picture.
Right.
Or they can upload a video. It can be pictures, media recordings, whatever you want them to actually upload. So file uploads there. So you'll want to make sure that the submission type is online and then file upload. Did you tell me what grade level you work with?
I'm K5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There's a restrict upload file type. That's really not necessary unless you're working with older kids.
Okay.
Just like, that's something, I don't know if you're sharing this with, but that's something like when you get to older kids, that's when you'd want to start restricting. Yeah, it's kind of fun. But yeah, file upload is that. And then I don't do any of this stuff. It's never a group assignment. I never do peer reviews. None of this. And then it's assign and who you're going to assign it to. And it will say, it defaults to everyone. Or you can choose your class sections. If you had like you have 2 different schools. So if you had one school doing one project and one school doing a different project, you could essentially separate out those classes that we put together at the very beginning. Does that make sense? But I always do it to everyone. We're not doing due dates for anything we're doing. You can set a due date. You can say it's available from this date to this date. I don't do any of that. And I never put any of this in, just because it's elementary school. So it's just not necessary.
Okay.
So once you've gone through all of that, then you're going to go ahead and I always do save and publish. I make it live as soon as I'm done, even if I might go back in. So we're going to save and publish. And then you'll see what the kids see. So it'll say, here's my text. Here's my Word document that I uploaded. They can scroll through the Word document. Keep going. There's the link. Again, the problem with the link is as soon as I click on that, it takes me to YouTube. So it's really better to embed those videos. Oh, and it totally took me out of Canvas, actually. No, it didn't. Okay, there we go. So that's what the assignment looks like, and that's it.
So before you save and publish, you don't see any of that. Because before you're like, you embedded the link and you made it so that it will display with them not having to download it, but you couldn't actually see that until you save and publish it.
Until you hit save. Yeah, you don't actually have to publish it to see it, but you do have to hit save. And then when you go into edit, let's go back. If I go back to edit this again, I'm only going to see the file name and then the YouTube link.
See, I think that's what happened to me when I was trying to figure things out last week. Is I tried to attach something into it and it looked like that, and I'm like, that's not what I've attached. I can't. That's not it. So I just have to do that extra step. And
yeah,
then
you have to do that highlighting.
Okay.
And then into your link and hit that auto open inline preview. It's essentially embedding the image versus linking the image. That's essentially what it's doing.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a really, like I said, that to me is like the most important step, because I don't want kids to ever have to leave Canvas.
Well, they'll tell me the link doesn't work. I don't see anything, is what I can see them all saying.
Yeah, the link doesn't work, or I don't have Word. Like, here's another one. I don't have Microsoft Word, or I don't have PowerPoint. And I'm like, oh, because if they don't have PowerPoint, they honestly can't view it if you link it.
Okay.
Versus if it's embedded like that, then it doesn't matter if they have it or not. The other big thing is if you link YouTube videos, and my son's is like this, his iPad, he doesn't have access to YouTube. So if he clicks on a link on his iPad, it tells him he can't access it because I have his iPad locked down. If the video is embedded, then he can view that video in Canvas without having access to YouTube on his iPad.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Because when we first started, when we were switched to e-learning and teachers were using Google Classroom, I was posting links to Art Hub for Kids so that kids could do drawings, and it was working okay for the few kids who were actually doing it. And then our district sent home technology, and they did technology pickup and gave kids laptops and iPads and stuff like that. And the very next day, I had kids telling me, I can't open the links, they don't work. And it was because it was YouTube and it was a school computer, and they couldn't go to YouTube on school computers.
Yeah, so embedding the videos is really important. All of my projects or assignments that I have, except for the ones I'm doing today, have them actually embedded in there. And then, so here is creating, okay, here's the actual assignment page for that one that we just created. So here's my text, here's the video and what it looks like when it's embedded. It looks very different when it's embedded. And as soon as you embed it, it actually pops up that big.
Okay.
So just make sure you get that full big screen on it for that. So, all right, so assignments created. We're gonna go ahead and go backwards and link it to that button that we created. Again, it's super repetitive. Like once you start doing it, you'll be like, wow, this is actually pretty simple.
Yeah, well, all these things are not things that I could learn in the tutorials that they're telling us to watch.
Well, the biggest problem, what I have found, the biggest problems that I have found is that Canvas wasn't created for related arts classes.
Right.
So, but on a positive side, just like the name implies, it is literally a blank canvas. You can do whatever you want. You can create grids and add photos and make buttons and do all of this stuff, but you have to know how to manipulate it in order to do that.
Right.
So, I mean, I've made this work in a way that works for art teachers, but I mean, it really just depends on what you want to give your kids. Do you want your kids to have access to every part of your lessons on Canvas? And for me, I always say yes, because I'm like, even if the kid goes in and does a project that we're not supposed to do for like another 2 months, if they do it at home, I'm like, that's awesome. They're just making more art.
Right.
Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if they're watching the videos that I've posted for other projects or they're getting excited about it, I am totally cool with that. I'll have kids tell me all the time, like, I'll show the video that I linked in Canvas and they're like, oh, I already watched this. And I'm like, awesome. Like, that is fantastic that you watched this already. And it just gives me a place to put everything so it's organized.
Right.
All right, so let's see. All right, so there's my button. We're going to edit this page. Scroll down. I'm going to highlight my button, my links here, and I'm going to go to assignments. And I have to find it again. Creating paper mosaics. There it is. Click it. It lights up for me. And then hit save. And then when I click on it, it takes me to my project.
Yay.
And that's
okay.
it.
You just taught me a lot of things I need to practice and play with. And I need to just do it to learn how to do it, right?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, the hardest part, in my opinion, is the formatting of the main pages, like where the buttons are going to go, because it is just blank. Like if you go and create a page, let's go to a new page. Like if I just create a blank page, not an assignment, but a page, it looks like this. There's no grid, there's no text, there's no like menu bar, there's nothing. Mm-hmm. So that page that I gave you through Commons, this one allows you to start out with the grid and a place to put your message and all of that.
Okay.
Because this, in my opinion, is the hardest part about using Canvas, because if you don't know how to code or write code, it's really, really hard. Like it's so hard. And I don't know how to do it. Like I've learned few things. Like I learned how to change the color of these boxes, mm-hmm. but you actually have to know how to code in order to do that. I won't even go into it because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
like,
yellow's good. I like yellow.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the craziest thing. Like if you don't know how to code, you're kind of like, okay, all my pages are just going to be text and videos. I can't do anything else. Mm-hmm. So the grid format will let you actually kind of start making things. But just think about each box will be a button, and each button will take you to an assignment.
That sounds amazing. Thank you. I'm glad I reached out to you and you accepted to help me.
Yeah, no problem.
I mean, our district, we did e-learning for 2.5, 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden, a week before spring break, they're like, hey, we bought you Canvas. You need to learn how to use it. Go. And we had spring break, and they said, oh, it's spring break. Take a break. Don't do anything. But it needs to go live on Tuesday. And we're like, how is that going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like all of our tech people for the district were on spring break last week, and we couldn't ask anything. We could just watch tutorials, and that's not how I learn. So.
Yeah, I got really lucky. The district that I was in when I learned Canvas, they actually purchased Canvas and rolled it out on a 3-year timeline. So they purchased it, and the first year, teachers just had to create pages, but students didn't have any access to it. There weren't even students in, I didn't even have sections attached to my name. So we all learned how to use it before students were ever introduced to it. And then the second year, students were introduced to it, but only if you wanted to. So your classes were all put into Canvas, but you didn't have to use it with students. So I was able to kind of like play with it. I wasn't required. I like practiced making assignments. It was great. Kids kind of started uploading things just for fun. And then the third year we had it, it went live. Like on day one, school started, your Canvas page was live and everybody was using it. Absolute best rollout ever. Because I know most districts are like, here it is, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love it. But this was actually really good practice for me because I just signed up for the Indiana Art Association conference to actually present Canvas for art teachers. So that is that's actually what I plan to do in October at the conference, is present what I just presented to you and hopefully
that's awesome.
Help some teachers out with this. So
well, I know for sure it will help me, and once I figure it out, then I can try to explain. I wish we could all sit together in a room and show each other how to do it, because the other art teachers too, and the district bought it for everyone, knowing, I think they knew middle and high school would use it. Elementary, this is so many extra things for our kids, and they don't know how to do it. These kids, this is the first time they've ever had an iPad at their house, some of them. So to expect them to do all these clicks and get to all these things is a little absurd.
Well, I have to tell you, because I switched from middle school to elementary, and I switched districts as well. So the district where I'm at now, they rolled out Canvas last year, at the beginning of last year, to all their teachers. And so like my kids didn't have access to it. They had iPads, they had to learn how to use it, but they pick it up so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, like I said, once you learn the basic, like here's how you create an assignment, here's how you link it to your button, here's how you put in a button, that's it. Like it's literally those 3 things over and over and over again. That's it. Like, as long as you have the formatting of the template.
Well, thank you for sharing it in comments. And do you mind if I share it with my art teacher friends once I figure out how to do it?
No, that's fine. Like I said, this template was shared to me by somebody else when I first started. I borrowed it from someone else in Commons because I liked the way it looked.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, you are welcome to share it. The 2 lessons or the other lessons that are in Commons, the draw your own emoji and the we've got this scavenger hunt, you're welcome to share all of those. They're all public, so everybody can access it.
Okay.
So this is the template. It's blank. This one is just, I would not download this one unless you actually want all these buttons. It just shows you what it looks like when it's filled up, if that makes sense. Because I know looking at the blank template, I'm like, what is that supposed to be? Again, super visual. I need to know what it looks like when it's finished. So that's just kind of giving you an idea. I would not download this, like I said, unless you want those actual buttons.
Okay.
So yeah, anybody can have access to these. They just have to type in that hashtag Curtis Makes Art. So.
Wow. Okay, well, like I said, I will have fun playing and trying to figure out how it all works. And I'm going to go very basic until I feel like I know what I'm doing. But at least I'll be supporting the district's decision to use Canvas.
You know what? Like I said, I love Canvas. I think Canvas is absolutely amazing. And even at the elementary school level, there are so many benefits to it. Even if you're only using it for the fact that your kids can take photos of their artwork and you never have to take projects home again.
Right.
I mean, like that just, it's a mind-boggling concept of like, I don't have to carry 300 canvases home or 300 clay projects or whatever it is. Like, you don't have to do that anymore.
So do you have an iPad in your classroom and that you allow the kids to take their photos during class? How do you do that if it's in a real classroom?
My school is actually a 1-to-1 school.
Okay. So they bring their own.
So they bring their own. Yep. And I just have a storage area. When they walk in the room, they put their iPads in there until they're ready to use it, or if we use it that day. So every kid has their own iPad with their own access to Canvas. If you're not a 1-to-1, it would be really difficult for kids to share an iPad because they have to then log out of Canvas, log themselves into Canvas, log out of Canvas, log the next person into Canvas. That becomes kind of tricky.
Well, between my two schools, one school, most of the classrooms in the upper grades, like 3, 4, 5, they are all 1-to-1. But at my other school, there's only one class in the whole school that's 1-to-1. So, yeah, I have huge discrepancies between my two buildings in my same district. But I like the idea of them having e-portfolios and me not having all of that work. They can start taking stuff home. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it is really nice. I mean, it's a game changer to be able to do that and not have to worry about collecting it and losing it. And I mean, yeah. So.
Well, thank you for taking part of your evening to help me. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, no problem. So
and I found the right person. I can't believe you're going to present Canvas at an art conference.
Maybe. I wrote the proposal, so we'll see if I get accepted.
Oh, okay. But it's in October, you said, right?
It's in October. Well, the funny thing is, I got linked into a Zoom conference on using Canvas. Like, someone sent me the link and I was like, oh, I want to see what they're doing and see if they're doing anything different than me. And I ended up talking for most of it. And then the guy who actually set it up is the organizer of the Indiana Art Education Conference. So then he reached out to me and was like, you need to present for us. And I was like, okay. So I'm pretty sure I will be presenting.
Yeah. I hope that there can be art conferences still after all of this crazy.
Yeah. I don't actually like public speaking at all. So yeah. Anyway, it was good practice for me.
Yeah. Well, you're very good at explaining it. So thank you. And if you can send me however you recorded it so that I can rewatch and go along with it with my Canvas open, that will help me even more.
Yeah, I will. I'll have to upload it to YouTube because it'll be too big to send it to you, but I'll just upload it to YouTube and then send you the link.
Okay.
So you should have it. It may take a little while tonight. I don't know how long it'll take to buffer the file, but.
No, that's fine. I will probably shut this down, go have my dinner, and relax. But yeah, today was our first day back after spring break. So it's been a long day, but I'm like, you know what? I need to just keep going. I need to get this.
Yeah. You'll get it, and it's super easy. And just reach out to me if you have questions. I have no issues with that. I have become the Canvas person for our entire related arts department. And it's fine. It's good. I like doing it. So.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good evening.
You too. Have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye. I'm going to end the meeting. I don't know how to do that. There we go. Maybe. And me.